This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leese, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. It is Friday, April 8th.
Well, Nye County Commissioner Leo Blundo is facing the fire once again. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is reporting that Blundo is being investigated for domestic battery against his wife, Melissa Blundo, who recently posted about their pending divorce on Facebook, then retracted it days later. Blundo made an announcement at this week's BOCC meeting that the pair were having problems and sent out a plea asking that the public respect their privacy.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office confirms reports of a criminal investigation concerning Commissioner Leo Blundo. On March 28th at approximately 12:30, Commissioner Blundo called 911, referenced a domestic dispute in progress, and disconnected with the dispatcher. Deputies responded, and investigation revealed a female alleged Leo Blundo had physically attacked her. A report was taken for domestic battery, and the report has been submitted to the Nye County District Attorney's Office for prosecution on the charge of domestic battery against Commissioner Blundo. No further information will be provided at this time.
And a parent who was upset with a Nye County School District bus driver for calling the police on his daughter was arrested for interfering with the bus service during the morning pickup of students, halting the bus, the driver, and students on the bus while he confronted the driver, according to police.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office has arrested Derek Fisher for intimidating a public officer, others, and false imprisonment. According to the declaration of arrest, on April 7th at approximately 7 in the morning at Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Arrowhead Street, police say that Fisher entered onto a Nye County School District bus and had a verbal altercation with the bus driver. They say that the bus driver informed Mr. Fisher that he could not step onto the bus. The bus driver then said that he began to accuse her of calling the police. The bus driver then asked Derek Fisher again to leave the bus. He then took 1 foot off the bus and left 1 foot on the step. He also allegedly left his arm inside the bus on the dash. Fisher then conversed on the issue that had occurred the day before, in which police say that the bus driver called the police on his daughter. He told the driver, "Never do that." The bus driver replied, "Have a good day, sir," in an attempt to end the conversation. She then used her radio inside the bus to send help. They say that Fisher remained partially inside the bus in an attempt to continue the conversation and not allow the bus to leave. He told the bus driver that she should respect the kids and please let the police know that they have an upset dad and to hurry up. By the end of the conversation, they say that Fisher said, "This lets me know I have a problem with you again, and police don't scare me," and that he will see her again if it happens again. According to the report, this incident lasted approximately 4 minutes. Upon contacting Fisher, officers say that he was aware that being partially inside the bus did not allow the bus driver to leave the scene. He said that he wanted her to stay there so that he could finish the conversation. He added that the whole incident was because he was disrespected and his child was disrespected. Derek Fisher was placed under arrest and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center without incident. Well, an intense fire scene was quickly remediated this afternoon as fire crews stopped the blaze in its tracks in a Pahrump neighborhood. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and auxiliary units responded to a report of a structure fire this afternoon on Dove Street. Fire Chief Scott Lewis determined that this was a high-risk fire. Upon arrival, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue discovered light smoke coming from a metal building described as a shop. Lewis said that a flammable liquid was on fire inside the facility and extinguished the blaze without further extension. No injuries have been reported.
And over 8,000 law enforcement officers, support staff, and volunteers will be participating in this year's Bake to Vegas Relay Challenge. This year, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is also proudly joining the group once again. We caught up with the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detective, Harry Williams.
So the Baker to Vegas race is a relay starting from Baker, California, or 20 miles north of Baker, and it goes all the way to Las Vegas, which will end at the Rio. So the Nye County Sheriff's Office decided to do it this year. We haven't done it in a few years, but this will be the first year that it's all Nye County. And years past, we've had other agencies join us because we just didn't have a big enough team. This year we have all Nye County, so that's going to be something new. So we're in a different bracket, which makes us where we don't have to compete with Los Angeles or other teams that are much, much bigger than us. Right now we have 24 runners. 4 of them are alternate runners. So in case somebody goes down or can't run its leg, they jump in and finish the leg for us. The training, we've been training on our own when we can. We get out and run, well, I get out and run personally every other day. They have other people that like to run a little longer, but the runs are about 4 to 10 miles. So whatever your leg is, you need to kind of prepare for how long your leg is going to be. Our number is going to be 268. So we'll be coming into Pahrump about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you see 268, it will be on the follow vehicles, it will be on the runner itself. Just kind of wave and cheer them on. We have our auxiliary staff helping out with traffic. We have our volunteers helping with the Baker to Vegas staff. We have people volunteering to help us with the follow vehicles that are following the runners. I mean, these vehicles follow the runners 5 legs at a time, and then they switch vehicles. The race will be coming through Pahrump around 1500 hours. The Nye County Sheriff's Office starts at 8 a.m., but they have other runners starting an hour at a time for the faster teams, but they'll usually get to Pahrump around the same time. And so if you need to go to Vegas, you might want to go before 1500 hours, just kind of clear out of the way before the runners get to Pahrump. So the route, like I said, it starts 20 miles outside of Baker, and it goes through Shoshone. From Shoshone, it comes to Pahrump, and then from Pahrump, it goes to Vegas. And this year, it's going to the Rio, and that's where the race will finish. We expect to finish around 4:30 in the morning. Most of our runners are fairly new, so we got, not a whole lot of older runners, but there's a couple, as to say. Every entry costs money, and it helps support the race as well. But yeah, all the money that they get, they use for especially situations or events or stuff like that. The race results are going to be on the Baker to Vegas website, so it'll be Baker to Vegas 2022, and then they have the links where you can see the results and track it that way.
One of my favorite events, I'll be out there with the Nye County Sheriff's Office numbers all over my car and honking at everybody.
Yep, and we'll be back with more News 25 right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Well, the Seroptimus Club of the Pahrump Valley is helping women of all ages get in contact with area health services and providers. Saturday, men, women, and children can attend the annual Women's Health Fair.
So the Seroptimus International Pahrump Valley is holding a Women's Health and Wellness Fair. This is our second one. The first one we did just before COVID, so we're back in again and giving it a whole new look. It's going to be held this Saturday from 10 to 2 o'clock at the Nye Communities Coalition at their NAC, the big building there. And we're expecting over 23 vendors that are there. And those vendors are going to be, this is something new this year, are going to be putting on little mini workshops of 30 minutes each throughout the day. It's actually free to the public. And another thing that's kind of cool this year is we were able to write an endowment grant. So we even were able to get funding, so even the vendors are free this year. So everybody's free. Wow. We're going to have some massage therapists. We have some prevention programs there. We have a chiropractor that's coming, that's going to be doing a class on spine, stretching for the spine wellness. We have We have some other, this year that's really new. In the years past, we have been kind of catering to an older group of women, but this year we're going to be bringing in some vendors that for people of childbearing age. So that we'll have a doula there, a woman that's a lactate specialist, things like that that are more are surrounded around young women of childbearing age. So we're excited about that change too.
The Nevada Department of Transportation is seeking public input as it plans future improvements along 2 key routes in southern Nevada, including State Route 160 here in Pahrump. Dozens of people showed up for the first of several public meetings held Monday evening. NDOT's Matt Bradley says public input is crucial to making the right improvements to local roadways.
Today we held our first of 4 public meetings for the State Route 160 and State Route 159 corridor study the NDOT is conducting. Well, we're actually doing the entire State Route 160 corridor, starting at South Las Vegas Boulevard, extending all the way through Pahrump to Roadrunner Road, and then State Route 159 from 160 all the way up to CC 215. This is a very preliminary phase of our plan, which is the corridor study, where we evaluate the corridor itself and receive public comment in order to come up with our needs for the area. Well, an important aspect to conducting any corridor study is obviously reaching out to the communities, getting feedback from the public in order to see what their priorities, concerns, and needs are for the area. So we want to make sure that we're addressing their concerns in addition to any data that we receive. 160 and 372 has been subject of a scoping report by the department, and at this time it is in a design phase, but as to what it's eventually going to look like, I do not know. Originally, we were only looking at going up to the intersection of 372. However, after speaking with Nye County Public Works, we did determine that we needed to extend the western terminus of our study to Roadrunner.
And NDOT has created a special website with more information about the corridor study. It's ndotsr160.com.
Well, friends, family, and the community, and some real wild animals said goodbye to a man who gave his all for the betterment of our community. Dick Sr., also known as Keeper of the Well, passed away last year at the age of 92. Sr. maintained the Wheeler Pass water well that is up Wheeler Pass for the animals to use. The well is a 500-gallon metal tank in the middle of Wheeler Wash at an elevation of 6,000 feet in the Spring Mountain Range. It was first started by the Bowman family here in Pahrump for their cattle sometime around 1957. The well is fed by a mountain spring. A memorial was held by his family recently to honor him. The Pahrump Arts Council even funded and wrote a book about the well and its history. That book has been provided to all elementary schools and is available at the Pahrump Community Library.
A number of years ago, so I'm saying 2009, we got together with Dick Sr. because he was a really special person taking care of this well for the animals. And we got a group together. I wrote a couple of grants for the Pahrump Arts Council. And we put together a whole series of books, 2 books for the grade schoolers. We did a plant guide for this area, this beautiful area in the Spring Mountains.
Just started coming up to the well about 10 months ago and just fell in love with this area. And I've been working alongside Paul and Gary and the guys behind me and James. On behalf of the Forest Service and myself, I just really want to say thank you to the Pahrump Valley Four-Wheelers for all their help with maintaining the well. And yeah, they do a lot of hard work for us, and we're just very grateful for having them up here. This was given to the group, I believe last year, roughly. I'm not sure. And so we have 4 signs that we're going to put up in honor of the Pahrump Valley Four-Wheelers and all the hard work that they've been putting in up here at the Wheeler Well.
You know, I loved him, and it's such a shame to see a person who's so innovative and does so much for the community pass away. But thanks so much, Dick Sr., wherever you're at, for all you did for the animals. News 25 will return right after this.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
With gas prices at an all-time high, home projects are getting more and more expensive. In today's Ask Angie segment, Mallory Meisfitch shares her tips on navigating home projects with rising gas prices.
Effects from the rising gas prices don't stop at the gas pump. Mallory Meistich, a home care expert at Angie, is here to walk us through how the increasing gas prices affect the home industry and what you can do about it.
High gas prices are already starting to affect both pros and homeowners. Pros use gas to travel to different job locations and for some of their equipment, which means many of them will have to raise their prices since the cost of running their businesses just got more expensive. If you're a homeowner, the best thing you can do right now if you're taking on a project is open a great line of communication with your pro.
Before you start your project, ask your pro if there are any price increases or fees that you need to be aware of. Some pros are adding the extra cost straight into their quotes, while others are charging additional transportation fees. Make sure you ask very clear questions about pricing to avoid any surprises later.
Try to add some extra wiggle room into your budget to account for the higher prices of gas. When we talk to our pros, about 75% of them, according to a recent poll that we did, said that they do plan on increasing their prices due to these new higher gas costs. So you'll need to create a new budget that takes that into account. If you're not sure how much extra to budget, talk to a couple of the pros that you regularly hire and see what they're planning to do.
You can save on transportation costs by bundling your projects together. For example, if you need to repaint a bedroom and your kitchen cabinets, get them done at the same time. This will decrease the pro's time driving, which will lower the overall cost of your project.
My last tip is to book local. In general, the farther a pro has to travel, the higher their prices will be. Try booking a local pro in your area to save on transportation costs. Pros are more likely to take on projects near them anyways, so hiring local is a win-win.
Do you have questions about your home projects? Tweet them using hashtag AskingAngie. That's hashtag AskingAngie, and you may get some tips in an upcoming segment.
That looks like fun. Well, let's join Darby O'Donnell Westerman hanging out with an adorable dog up at Desert Haven who is up for adoption right now.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Tula, the Catahoula. She is gorgeous. She is a medium to large dog. She has beautiful coloring. She's freckled all over her body with this very dark fur, but with these light spots all over it, giving this appearance of freckles all over her body. She also does have a white chest, and she has little white sockies on her feet and little freckles all over it. She has gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous brown eyes and a cute little brown nose. Extremely friendly. She does need to be in a home that is very, very secure though, because she has some hops on her. She is like a springboard. She will jump over a fence. So she's definitely a dog that will need a lot of attention, need a lot of exercise. She's on her way to go find Kenny because that's her favorite person. But if you want to come and see Tula or any of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call at 775-751-7020. Just so you know, they're now open 7 days a week for adoptions, and you can always check them out on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Tula, come here. Come here, girlie. Come here. Why are you sitting like that?
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, I'm looking forward to the Baker to Vegas, like I said again, but I think it's going to be hot.
It is, but it's going to be great weather for running.
Really?
Or walking. I'm sorry, some are going to walk. But Nevada blue skies, you got to do it. We'll be back with more weather right after this.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on a Friday, feeling frisky because look at this funny looking weather map. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, usually kind of like mid-range temperatures. Today, roasty hot, 81 in Fernley, 85 in Fallon. Carson City was the cool spot in the state at 76. Amazing. How about that? Never happens. Tonopah, 79 degrees. We've got 83 in Goldfield, Beatty at 86. A tie down south, Amargosa and Las Vegas, both checking in at 90-degree highs, although Vegas wins the tiebreaker with the low temperature tonight at 62 degrees. It should be super pleasant. Out in Death Valley, 102. Oh my, first time triple digits all year. Way to go, Death Valley. But it won't be the last time, that's for sure. Here in the paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look at our current temperature at 88 degrees. We saw 89 just a little bit earlier. Winds out of the southwest kindly to 7 miles per hour as the sun rose this morning at 6:20, and it'll set this evening at 7:11. We picked up a minute of daylight. Way to go. Low tonight, 53 degrees, as the winds will continue to buffet us out of the east-southeast to 9 miles per hour into our Saturday. And what does that Saturday look like? Pretty good. Look at that, sunshine. 11-mile-per-hour winds, not too scary, 88-degree temperatures. And then temperatures start to decline as the winds pick up. Look at Monday, 23-mile-per-hour average gusts, a big weather system blowing in. On Tuesday, we'll see some rain, perhaps, 17% chance. We'll track that and see, but it's going to be a sprinkle fest. And definitely, temperatures dropping out of the sky to a 59-degree high. Looks like we return to fighting trim later in the week. 72-degree temperatures predicted Thursday and Friday. So make plans to really enjoy this weekend. Not so much on Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll be back into that springtime thing. And promise. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, it's going to be a warm one for those runners. We just want to remind everybody once again, those runners will be on the roadway. Please either take an alternate route or make sure that you are driving very safe, because we want to make sure that these runners for the Baker to Vegas are safe as well. They'll be passing through town around probably 3 or 4 o'clock here in Pahrump.
All right, that does it for us tonight. Have a great weekend. I'm Stacy Jensen.
I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
Good night.